This is by far my favorite non-electrical microneedling pen. Today we're diving deep into the Banish Microneedling kit. I'll be talking to you about what it does, what makes it special, and give you some pluses and minuses. I'm also going to be giving you a detailed look at its accompanying products that they suggest using with this pen. I'm going to talk to you about what's good, what's great, and what's not so great. Let's get started. Let's talk about what's great about this pen. They did send this kit to me, just so you know that this is not a sponsored video. I always review products and give you my honest opinion. 3 reasons I love this pen. First one is its large surface area, making it a breeze to cover more skin in less time. Also, I love how thin these needles are, which in my opinion gives you less downtime, which we all love, because the thinner needles will actually close up much quicker. The skin will actually close up much quicker. I'm going to be talking about that more in a moment. And let's just talk about this amazing sanitizing cup. This is a brilliant idea. We're going to talk about that and how you can make this squeaky clean very quickly. Okay, so what is the pen and what does it do? It is a 0.5 microneedling pen, and it is actually collagen induction therapy. Most people don't know that. There is a huge difference in a 0.25 or 0.5 when we're talking about microneedling. And there's so many companies coming out now with their own pens that they forget to share this with you. And I think it is so important to share with you. So a 0.25, which is otherwise known as cosmetic, needling can actually help penetrate products deeper into the skin. And while the 0.5 can do that as well, but the 0.5 is actually hitting the dermal layer of the skin, which actually produces collagen. And that is the real reason why, in remodeling, I guess, of the skin, that is the real reason why it's called collagen induction therapy. So according to Dr. Sutterfield, I have read his book and I'm a huge fan of him. He is one of the world's foremost dermal needling experts. He's done a ton of research on microneedling and the different needle lengths. He's an educator, skin treatment specialist, and international speaker. And like I said, a 0.5 is considered medical microneedling, and it should be done with caution. And I feel like a lot of the companies that are coming out with all of these microneedling pens don't really emphasize that. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing due diligence and making sure that you are aware of that. So it's going to help to create collagen, like I said, which is going to help to minimize fine lines, wrinkles, give you a little bit of a lift. It's also going to minimize hyperpigmentation, acne spots, dark spots. It's going to reduce texture of the skin. It's going to get rid of acne scarring and just provide you with brighter, overall smoother skin. I've been doing microneedling for years, and I've tried many stamps, rollers, electric devices. Microneedling does work. You just need to be cautious and take great care because you don't want to mess anything up. Okay? All right. So what makes them stand out, what makes this pen stand out is the needles are the thinnest gold-plated titanium needles that are out there. These needles provide a more comfortable needling experience. I can attest to that, ensuring a smoother and less invasive session compared to standard needles. I feel like I have pretty sensitive skin compared to others, especially when we're microneedling. The downtime for me has always been a little bit longer when I've used other pens in the past. And I would say that this one gives me my downtime. My downtime is only about 15 to 20 minutes, which is like, holy cow, that's amazing. So I really love that thus far about this pen. And this is obviously going to definitely determine on your skin sensitivity. Just because the irritation goes down in about 15 to 20 minutes for me doesn't necessarily mean that that will happen with you, but just kind of make note of that. Also, another thing that I love about this, especially when we're talking about any type of microneedling stamp, is that the needles press straight down into the skin, which doesn't cause any tears in the skin. Like rolling the skin can kind of create some additional tears in the skin. So I prefer a stamping method rather than a roller. Let's talk about the good. So the products to me are good. They are well formulated. They do have a little bit of concerns. So what they sent me was their vitamin serum and their vitamin C moisturizer. The vitamin C serum is glycerin based. It is an L-ascorbic acid, which I absolutely love, which is going to help with hyperpigmentation, is the most research when we're talking about hyperpigmentation. Also, it has ferulic acid, which really should be paired with an L-ascorbic acid. The only thing that I really didn't love about this formulation is that it does have a rose extract, and it does have rose as kind of like a fragrance. And I'm going to talk to you more about that later, because that is potentially could be irritating to the skin. I'm not a rose fan. If you are, let us know in the product description below. But it does have some jojoba oil, which is absolutely brilliant for hydration. And the cream, really lovely. The retinol serum, I think, is really beautiful as well. It's a ceramide retinol serum. I think this is a great starter. I love the ceramides. It's going to help to protect the skin barrier and also keep it really super hydrated. So I love that. Let's talk about their gel. They've got a fighter gel that they sent me. I didn't really use this. This is going to be more for calm breakouts and eczema skin. I don't have that. But I think this is also going to be very helpful for if you've got a sunburn, which you shouldn't, because you should be wearing SPF daily. But of course, it can happen. It does have a very strong peppermint scent. It is something that when you add on to the skin, it gives you kind of this cooling effect. I love that it's highly concentrated with aloe. It looks like kind of an aloe gel, which is going to be great for really irritated skin. Not a fan of the peppermint. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but that might be great for you. All right, their pumpkin mask. This is their pumpkin enzyme mask. Holy cow, you guys. First of all, this smells like pumpkin and great for the fall. It's like I want to go to Starbucks right now and get a pumpkin latte. It's really, really, truly beautiful. The amount of acids in here are really quite stunning, and I find the formulation in this pumpkin mask really lovely. The first ingredient is walnut shelled powder. At first I was like, ah. However, it's a powder form. You're not feeling any, like there's no texture, there's no abrasion in here at all. It is very, because of that powder, it is very smooth to touch. So I love all of the acids in here for brightening the skin. This is going to be great at, giving you a beautiful exfoliation and getting rid of the top layer of the skin cell. Like, it's just really beautiful for brightening. I say go in twice a week with this. Keeping it on the skin for about 10 to 15 minutes. Truly stunning. I would put that enzyme mask in the great category. Let's talk about how to use this system. I'm going to tell you how they want you to use it, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts after that, okay? So they are indicating that you can use the pen up to every twice a week, or up to once a week. So every other week or up to once a week. So what you're gonna wanna do is wash the hands, clean the face, make sure that your face is super squeaky clean. I would not use any moisturizing cleansers because sometimes that can leave a film on the face. I would use a gel cleanser. And I also like to use a Hibit cleanse, which is like what surgeons use to really get everything squeaky clean and sanitized. You can also use these little pads. These are 70% alcohol pads. I have used this many times to just with the face and get it super squeaky clean. Then what you're gonna wanna do, and this is another thing that I love, fill the cap. You're gonna fill this with 70% rubbing alcohol. You're gonna put this on here. You're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes to sanitize the needles, and then you're gonna allow it to air dry. Then what you're gonna go in is on your clean, squeaky skin, you are actually gonna do 3 stamps per area you treat. So what I like to do is go into a horizontal fashion. So like bam, 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 bam. That is 1 stamp. And then I'm doing vertical, bam, 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 bam. Do you see what I'm saying? That's 2 stamps. And then diagonal, dun, 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 dun. That would be your 3 stamps. So you want a good amount of erythema. And what that means is pink. You want it to be pink. You don't want it to be like super, super massive red, but just a nice pinkness is really kind of what we're going for. You're not going to want to microneedle over any active acne or rashes. Then what they say to do is then you're going to want to apply the vitamin C serum. You're going to apply that to the skin. You're not going to add anything else. Okay, that's the vitamin C serum. You're done, and nothing else. And then, of course, like I said in the morning, definitely you need to be using your SPF. And then you can use the serum and the cream twice a day. You can use the retinol every single evening, and then, you know, the fighter gel as needed, the pumpkin mask every 2 weeks. So that's kind of how this works. And then, of course, you are going to want to go in and sanitize this again, just like you did at the beginning of the treatment. And of course, consult your dermatologist before using this. If you are recently using a prescription-based acne medication, and always, if anything in massive irritation is happening, you're going to stop it, and you're definitely going to want to talk to your dermatologist. All right, let's talk about my thoughts about the process and things that I think that are not so great. So one of the things that's not so great, in my opinion, is that you cannot purchase this alone. I'm really frustrated by that. You have to buy the kit. So just kind of keep that in mind. There are a couple of different kits, and I will put those off to the side so you can kind of see that. The kit does include 2 replacement cartridges, and you are definitely going to want to replace the cartridges about every 8 to 10 times that you use it. And I say that if it is a small area, like I only did my forehead while I was doing this review. I did it 4 times so far. I've done this pen, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But if you're doing a smaller area, I say 8 to 10 times you're going to want to replace the cartridge. If you are doing a larger area, you know, consistently, then probably about 4 to 6 times you're going to want to replace the cartridges. I'm not a fan of putting this serum on right after using this pen. I tend to be very conservative when we're talking about medical microneedling at a 0.5 needle length. I personally like to stick with Dr. Lance Setterfield's research, which should be that when you're doing a 0.5 or higher, that you want to use skin identical ingredients when microneedling. So that would be like hyaluronic acid, growth factors, stem cells. That's what I usually use when I am microneedling, and I like the formulation to be super squeaky clean, very low percent preservative. I don't like to use any oils as well, lavender oils or any other types of oils. And the reason for that is because it can definitely irritate the skin. So at a 0.5, I don't feel that those ingredients need to go that deep and could potentially be irritating to your skin. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, using this pen 1 to 2 times a week can be kind of concerning to me as well, again, because I am pretty conservative and stick to Dr. Lance Setterfield's research that says you should probably be microneedling about every 4 weeks. With that being said, and that would be more for anti-aging, because you want that, you know, everything happens during the healing process. That's when the magic happens. However, I do know that there has been dermatologists and doctors, and there are times that he even, Dr. Setterfield has recommended to do certain treatments once a week or once every other week. So that's not a big deal to me. I would really just listen to your skin, but I did want to share that, because if your skin, if you wanted to be like, I'm going in, I know a lot of people do this, I'm going in, I'm going to do this every week, but you're noticing that your skin is not really calming down within that week, you're not going to want to continue to do this, okay? That is not, you want your skin to be free of any irritation before doing another treatment. That's basically what I'm saying. So for me personally, I did this treatment as recommended on their website, because I know you guys would be doing this. A lot of people don't know the information that I know with Dr. Setterfield's, research. So, you're just going to go in, you're going to do what they say, of course. And I get that. And I did. So I did apply the vitamin C after the microneedling session. I did get a little burning sensation, but I didn't get any irritation. I was totally fine. I did go in. I didn't use this every week. I used it about every 9th to 10th day. That's the most that I've ever microneedled, and I did it only on my forehead. I was fine doing that as well. I didn't have any peeling. I didn't have any dryness. And I think that that has to do with these ingredients, because I did use only these ingredients on my forehead because that's what I did use it on. And yeah, so that is my experience. Another con, or I should say a recommendation to Banish, is I would love for this to be a dial where you could change the needle length. So at a 0.25 or 0.5, that would be amazing. A 0.25 is actually considered, like I said, cosmetic needling, and you can use these ingredients, the vitamin C, I wouldn't use the retinol, but the vitamin C with a 0.25, and you could actually do it several times a week. And if you worked your way up, you could actually do it at a 0.25 every day. So I would really love to see this at where it would, it could dial. So that's just a recommendation for me personally. So I also did have a question. Me and my husband were kind of talking about this and the thin needles, and I love the thin needles on this, but I was beginning to wonder, like, will you get the same amount of collagen being produced with such a fine needle? I'm wondering it because that wound is going to be different, right? Compared to other microneedling pens where the needle is going to be thicker. So that's what I was curious about. I did ask that question to Banish. I haven't gotten a response as of yet. And if I do get it, I will definitely include it in here. I just kind of quickly did a, quick research, and I did not find anything that research talks about the width of the needle, but rather just the depth of the needle. That's all they really talked about in their studies regarding microneedling. So do I recommend this pen? I absolutely do. I love the pen. I will continue using the pen. I just caution you using the serum right after. Maybe it's something that you want to do, like using the serum right after maybe 2 to 3 months until you see your treatments, and then maybe, not doing that any longer. I would not use the serum all the time for like life, I guess, because of those ingredients that I told you that could potentially eventually even create some irritation. So there you have it, a comprehensive breakdown of the Banish Microneedling kit and its accompanying serums. While I have my reservations about some of the ingredients, the overall performance and design of this kit are commendable. Remember, skincare is so personal, and it's always important to prioritize what works best for your unique needs. Stay tuned for more skincare insights. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you do not miss my upcoming videos. Until next time.